If you're interested, this is how I'll get the sound working, hopefully. I see you want to use P5 sound, which I've used, so I'll say that in our Brainimation, in our live brain animation program, um, only some built-in functions of P5 are available and have to be individually added. Some students and me want to use sound with p5.sound library and want to find an easy fix for this in the code. Let's build it into our web page, but also think about how to allow students to use other libraries and functions in the future without this loop in the middle. First, add the sound. Let's test it. Then let's solve more generally. Okay, so this is in Cursor, and I'm asking my AI, which is see the whole folder for our class. You can see have all the code and website. It can walk us through how we might add this, so we don't have to bang our head on it, searching the internet and finding out how to do it. And this is when I would get a snack, open, drink. But you can also watch it, which is fun, maybe at first. As it codes and thinks, it's often good to see its thought process because you can see if it has any error. So it's saying the code manually binds because they're using P5 in the instance. So it said I'll add a sound example. Let's add the sound example code. I'll add them to the examples object. Sounds like it's on the right track. You can open it up and look like this as it's working. So this is the version that's on my machine here. And somewhere here it might have sound now. But all it's done is put the things in the menu. That's a really optimistic way to start. Now check for errors. That's nice. So as it's writing this document, which is a nice thing for it to do, both for me and for other times I use its reference, I can try to see how this music is working. So I'll simulate data. I don't hear music. Click to start music. Uh-oh. Student sound guide, that's a little bit over the top. Okay, let's see. Click to start music. Click where? Click to start sound. Connect user, simulate data. Click to start sound. Still don't hear anything. I wonder if it's because I'm in this video. And here. just be the sound altogether. Oh, great, a third summary update. The log shows that it should be working, but I don't understand where I'm supposed to click. But I know that these toolboxes are set up so that you can't just play sounds when people start websites. So that's what it used to be like in the 90s. And it was like Harry Potter when you walk through the billboards that talk to you. Any future library works, reduce code, better debugging. Click on the canvas to start audio, adjust the attention slider. In the future, if you want to use a library, you just use this p5.speech so that you could say p5.oscillator and all these things. That's very nice. We should add those to the reference. These should be added to the interactive reference panel. So I finished, I let it finish its addition of those things to the reference, and then I tested the page again. We can even test it kind of like in a incognito window like this, and I tested it even without the sound connected to this recording, and it doesn't play any music in these situations still. So that means we get to debug. And so I'm going to say here in a new agent, I have a new sound feature by adding P5 sound library. I made 2 new sound examples, but when I start them and click on the screen, not sure where to click, I don't hear anything. How can I be sure the sound output source of the browser is set right? And how can we test and fix? Okay. So it, as optimistic as it was, it didn't get something right about adding sound, even though it's now added all these extra instructions for how to use the sound. If we go here, I'd imagine it's sound. So you can load little wave files, you can play them, you can play sine waves. You can look up the P5 library and access all those features. That's nice. That hasn't changed. I haven't actually tested this with a key, so I'm not sure if that part works. It's walking through. Here you can pick like different AI options, which one you want it to use, and some of them are faster, some are smarter, some are more loquacious or verbose in their response, some are more curt, but some aren't as good at editing the page. Auto is an efficient way for this cursor program to function that doesn't charge as much for the AI. So when it can, it uses its own models. Okay, so it's fixing our sound examples. And it said it made a test sound button. That's interesting. Test sound. That's part of the problem, let's imagine. So if you were coding more professionally, you would probably not have gone so quickly into this in the past. You would have tested really slowly when you first added the sound before you added all the extra features and instructions of how to use it. I can see that when I press test sound now, if I were to open my own console, or I can see in this one we've made that the master volume is not defined. So let us show the results of this diagnostics to the AI that we are working with here. And I maybe wanted to stop making those guides. Here is the results of the test log. Master volume was not defined. I'm just going to give it a hint, but I don't have to treat it like that at all. I could just wait and let it see that. So because they're not available as the program loads up, they're not ready when the program runs them. And the patches that it's made to go around that haven't been implemented yet at the time when they're run, so it now wants to adjust the timing and import them earlier or run those codes later. And it will do this, as you can see, really inefficiently. Interestingly, it rewrites the entire code every time. Some AI models can kind of snipe in code or snip in code better, but in these cases it rewrites it each time. And that seems quite inefficient. Okay, so now we should be able to say that we are happy with everything. Don't write a log, please. So we'll go here, we'll reload, and we'll test sound. I hear a sound, I don't know if you hear it, but I heard a beep. And yes, great, your sound system is working now. Try the sound examples. Okay, so now I'm going to try this example, which seems really wild. Simulate data. Maybe it's just the clicking part that's not working. Like, what does here mean? Okay, I'll try doing that from the very beginning instead. Oh, that's missing something. Even AI makes mistakes. Still don't hear sound when I click. And in the log, don't see any errors. Just reload it when I do it just to be sure. Okay, so now I see, click the canvas to start the synthesis of brainwave. Yeah, so I'd say everything appears to be working, but clicking the canvases in the 3 animations has no effect. Great. Okay, so this is also going to add another feature to your code, libraries, where you'll be able to use the mouse and the keypads to collect responses or button presses or clicks. And I'm going to say, please add also the touch screen features of P5. I don't really know where it means it's going to update the draw loop, but that's cool. Okay. Interesting. Cool. Complex. So it's adding some kind of like middleman features in between P5 and R animation to make things simpler on your end and appear just like you're using P5. Now I'm going to say, please add all of these new interactive features to the reference material. Add new tabs for sounds and for input instead of appending. Okay, so I'm going to add those to the references and hope that also at the same time this is working better. I hear that test sound. Refresh the page and try this. We already knew that part had an error I can fix. There, now I hear it. I'm not sure if you do. It sounds like very nice music. Da, doo, doo, da, da, doo, da, da, da. And it is not based off my brain activity, but let's see if I can connect, pair. Now it is based off my brain activity. Cool. Okay. Refresh and go back and see that it is updating these with these other tabs to show the other functions that you can use. That's pretty distracting. I think should make it so you have to click on it for those things to pop up. In the reference menu, when the user mouse overs a box, the whole instructions appear. Instead, make the card highlighted, but wait for user click or touch to open the larger instruction card to avoid cluttering the UX. UX is the user interface. Okay, cool. So it's going to wait for these things. And that's, I think, everything I wanted to show you. So the sound should be working now as well. These inputs are working because it waits for you to click. So you can add inputs to your code as well with these examples. I wanted to just show you how I edit code now. How I code in most of my projects is through this interactive nature. I rarely am opening up and looking at this actual code itself. So even though in this example you're focusing on this code as you look, you can see that that becomes like a minimal part of my work as you start to interact with the AI. you would just go back and forth here as it edited that and give it feedback about what you see.